In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Pokemon community in general. Alright guys, so we have a video today. It's a little more of an interesting one. We're going to be talking about the Pokemon community just in general. The good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to be talking about successes, failures. Shout out to Marley in my Discord for giving me this video idea. So we're going to be doing like a commentary over everything. You might be wondering, why is Celebrations on your screen? So Celebrations was actually the first product that came out that was super hype when I started collecting. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. I guess Vivid Voltage and Darkness Ablaze was, but I really wasn't buying a lot of that. Celebrations came out. It was super hyped. I remember I still have the purchases on TCG Player if I scroll back far enough, and I was buying these ETBs on release for like $90, not knowing any better. So we're kind of just going to talk about the full collector experience from when I started to where I'm at now. When I started, everyone was opening up Darkness Ablaze, Voltage. We're like, oh, that Rainbow Pikachu, that's crazy. How did I learn over time? 5 years later now, it's just a lot of reading, a lot of watching videos. So if you watch YouTube, just watch videos in general, you'll pick up a lot of things. You'll learn a lot of sets. I didn't know what the Sun and Moon era was. I didn't know what the X and Y era was really when I started collecting. I learned it all over time. So that's my biggest piece of advice, is to, if you like Pokemon and you want to become knowledgeable about it, you constantly see people asking like, hey, what's with this card? Should I grade this? Should I, what's this worth? So maybe we'll even go over in this video how to price things. We'll look up how to tell about grading, things like that. But yeah, just wanted to pull the Celebrations box up here to show that even when I first started collecting, I was FOMOing into Celebrations, but I wasn't saving it or anything. I was just ripping it all open, which if you look at it now, that's crazy to do. And then just quickly to touch upon, some of my lows, like I said, buying Celebrations early on, maybe overpaying for singles, walking into a card shop and feeling like I need to buy something. You never need to buy anything. Don't feel afraid to walk away from a deal. You can always probably find a better deal somewhere else. Again, unless you're getting too good of a deal, then something might be wrong with that as well. So it's like that middle ground of good deal but not a crazy good deal. Always do your research. I can't say I've ever really been scammed. Early on, maybe going on Amazon and buying, hyper rares, 20 of them. Yeah, definitely did that when I first started collecting. Guys, try to stay away from that kind of stuff because it's all fake most of the time. They were all fake. I returned them all. Just gotta know where to shop. So places to shop: Pokemon Center, Walmart, from Walmart, not third party. Be wary of third party. Make sure they have good reviews if you're gonna do that. Amazon, I tend to stay away from. eBay with good feedback, TCG Player with good feedback. If you buy from streamers and things like that, again, people that have a reputable reputation, yeah, you could buy from them. Again, they're not going to have a giant community of supporters, most likely, if they are a scammer. And if they do scam for, they pull off the ultimate scam, they're probably not going to come back to the stream. Just, be wary of where you're spending your money. As far as challenges in the hobby, the one thing that makes the hobby challenging, of course, is always money. Guys, don't spend, $5,000 on a credit card. Only spend what you can afford to lose. When you buy Pokemon, and I could probably use some of this advice myself, when you buy Pokemon, fully expect to never be able to get your money out of that item, even though you can. Fully expect to be able to get your full amount of money you put into that product back, just to prepare for the worst. So, if you started spending emergency fund money on Pokemon slabs, okay, well, now I need to sell these. Okay, well, how am I going to sell these? You're probably going to sell them on eBay. You're probably going to sell them in person to a card shop. eBay, you're going to get 13% off the top right there, gone in fees. Card shop, they're going to offer you 75%. Some shops offer like 60% around here for me. So always have a plan, always think it through. Do not spend important money on Pokemon. Now I'm not saying never to use a credit card for Pokemon, because you can get a lot of credit card points and things like that, and we could do a whole nother video about that. Business side of it, funneling money through a credit card for rewards and things like that. But if you could pay the credit card off, definitely use a credit card, get those free points. But I'm saying, don't go on there and put like a $5,000 transaction on there that it's going to take you a very long time to pay that off. Never a good idea. spend within your means when it comes to Pokemon. Again, some advice I could probably use for myself, because sometimes, you know, I do get a little bit of carry weight with the ripping. Not that I'm like in financial debt from Pokemon. Sometimes it would be nice to save a little bit more extra money that after you rip a box, you're like, darn, I shouldn't have opened that. But it's the fun of the hobby. Yeah, let's talk about some successes. And if you're really, I guess success you could look as in different ways, whether that's the value of your collection, the quantity of your collection, things like that. And the thing that I think of most when I hear the word success in the hobby, as far as like the collection, is just grading cards. I don't know, like you take a card, right? You grade it and now it's worth more. Not that the worth is everything when it comes to a card, but it's just now that you know, hey, I got this as a PSA 10, I have this as a BGS 10, it's worth X amount of money. If I had to sell it, I could. But I don't know. Becoming a successful collector is also going back to kind of that point I talked about with just dialing in and knowing a lot of information, knowing all your sets, knowing what cards sets come from, understanding pop, understanding liquidity when it comes to cards. You might have a $5,000 card and you might have another $5,000 card. Well, the one might be $5,000, but who's going to buy it? The other one might be a very liquid $5,000 card that almost anyone would certainly take. So you guys got to understand that as well. For example, like super modern cards are very liquid, like Alt Arts and SIRs are pretty liquid. Something that might not be as liquid, maybe you go back, and again, this is just, I'm completely guessing here, I'd have to like find a very good example. Maybe something that's not as liquid would be like a very expensive like PSA 7 vintage card. I don't know, of something, and some people might, I don't really want a 7. Again, if it's someone's favorite Pokemon, yes, but people will know what I'm talking about when I talk about liquidity of moving cards and things like that. But yeah, success, I don't know how you want to measure success again. You know, value, quantity, knowledge. There's very many different factors you could use to measure that. And I just noticed I've been looking over here the whole time. I have another monitor over here, so that's why you guys constantly see me looking over here. Side off topic, but I kind of read some of my comments here. My camera's here on my other monitor. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, success too. I guess you could say I do business in Pokemon as well. I do every aspect of Pokemon. I talk about how I think that's very important. Buy, sell, trade, grade, do everything. Do everything in the hobby. It keeps you entertained. It keeps you not hyper focused on one thing. I do sealed collecting as well. If you can expand your collection without having to pay massive amounts of money, that's really good. So maybe you buy a booster box case, put it in your closet, sell it a couple years later, use that to buy more sealed. You just keep rolling your money. It's as simple as that. And yeah, so not having to pay large chunks of money out of pocket for things. You know, maybe you trade or resell some of your current items, just things like that. But I've been rambling on for way too long now about this. All right, so we're gonna go over real quick how I price cards. And simply all you have to do, we're on TCG Player, right? Guys, there's an app on the App Store if you have an iPhone. I'm sure they have it for Android too. Download it, okay? Let's see, what do I have searched here? Let's go to Dust and Rivals here, okay? So I'm doing this all live. Say you have a Cynthia's Garchomp. Hey, what's my card worth? You go here on TCG Player. It's a little bit different on the phone, but you can still click this View More Data, and you can see what the card is actually selling for. Now, it is very important that you pay attention to this column here, this condition. NM is near mint. That is the top highest quality condition you can get, all the way down to damage. If you need to learn more about those, just Google it, card conditions, and then look up the abbreviations, and it'll kind of tell you what they are. But near mint, you can see last sold 233, near mint 226, near mint 224. There's an LP for 214. So near mint, again, highest condition. So that is for the Cynthia's Garchomp. Now, if you want to look up graded cards, I will show you how I do that. Okay, so all you got to do is type the name of the card you want. So I typed in Sapphirose Pikachu because I really like this card. PSA 10. Now you see, we're looking at cards that are listed here. Okay, these are all just listed. And actually, what are these? Pokemon Center. I'm going to have to look into these, actually. I'm going to save those because I've never seen these before. That's super cool. But you guys get the point here. These are all just listings. These aren't what they're being sold for. So this is what someone is asking for the card. Now, if we scroll down here on the left and we click sold listings here, so sold items, and you check that box, now you will see that we have all of these sold listings. So they're in green, that means that these are sold. If they have a slash through them, that means best offer accepted, as you can see below. So it sold for less than $850. You could see Sapphirose Pikachu on December 21st sold for $289. Now this card is not $289. This card is way more. As you can see, best offer there on $850. I actually have one of these. I can't believe it shot up that much in price. You could see May one sold for $630, $540, So I'd say it's anywhere right now between $600 to $800 in that price point. I mean, you can use something called Alt as well. It's an app, and you can look at past sales on that. But that is how you simply look up a card that you're looking for anyone that wants to know that. All right, guys, so that was quickly how to value your loose and graded cards. Now we're going to be looking at, just giving some takes here and opinions. The good, the bad, the ugly of the Pokemon community. We're on Pokemon Center right now, as you know. So what are some good things? The good things, the hobby is super popular. Overall, some people might look at it as a negative, but it is good that Pokemon in general is gaining popularity. It's going to help, I feel, the long-term push of the company, and just keep people, in with the franchise. So the bad is that product is not available at all as far as the TCG. Now, if you guys wanted to come on here and buy, plushies and things like that, there's some skateboards, shirts, a lot of that, Funko Pops, a lot of it is available. Now when it comes to the TCG, not so much. So we'll take a look at, let's see here, trading card game. Yeah, so everything is sold out. Oh, look at that playmat, I didn't even see that. I'm sure that's selling for $100 on eBay. That is super cool though. But there's some things that are in stock. They're not like packs you can open up, so to say, but you might get lucky, find like a deck box or some sleeves, things like that. But for the most part, mostly all of it's sold out. Oh, that's a pretty cool Caterpie playmat there. What's really bad right now, I guess you could say, the limits are kind of bad because people can only get 1 pack, 2 packs, and it's like, oh, I want to open more than that. So then people seek to find other ways to buy packs. You have one person, maybe you have botting right now. That's really the negative part, I guess. The whole negative thing is really just the product aspect. And as far as YouTube content goes, YouTube content has been great. Views are up, and so I don't feel like we can really complain right there, other than maybe, more views. There's more drama, lots of drama videos going on as of lately. To highlight another good thing, something else that's really good is the communities that are being built right now. I feel like you're seeing a lot of new content creators. You're seeing a lot of new communities be built, Discords be built specifically. I have a Discord now where we're closing in on 180 members, so that's awesome to see. If you guys do want to join, the description for that down below contains the link to the Discord. I hope to see you guys in there. We have sections for everything. We have Poke News, video ideas. We have a general chat. You can ask questions in there. As well, live stream 3 days a week. We sell some product here and there and do slabs and everything like that. So if anyone's ever interested to see that, you could always join there. But yeah, to sum up the whole video, I probably did a bad job of rambling on, but it was kind of just a mix of things, but quickly recapped good and bad things. When you're new to collecting, you just have to be selective of what you're buying. Make sure you're getting a good price on things. Don't FOMO into new singles. All things that I talk about in other videos, you can take that knowledge and apply it to what you're doing, or not. You can just collect what you like, buy what you like. It's your money. You can do exactly what you want. That's going to be all for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you could please like, comment, subscribe. Anything helps, and I'll see you in the next one.